We dissolve the ego, we break it down, right? We decapitate it, but we never completely kill it. That's why when we say we've had ego deaths, the ego never truly dies. So even when you step into the higher self, it is still possible for you to have moments of like egoic resonance, egoic behaviors sort of rise. The only difference is once you've done the work and you're in your north node, you recognize it instantly to where you can say, hey, no, that's not right. That's not it. Let me bring myself down. And like spiritual ego is treacherous. It will make you think you're being a way that you're not and you have to catch it. And I was able to see that I was acting out of my ego in regards to my twin, right? And sort of detaching in a way that was not truly healed or helpful. It was just kind of like egoic. And once I realized that and I realized the truth, it was like, okay, I need to just voice out loud, this is my twin. I need to voice out loud that I've been shown A, B, and C about where I'm wrong, and I need to just fix it on my end, right? I don't need to reach out to anybody and say anything. I just need to fix it on my end. And that's the beauty of inner work. It allows you to see when you are operating out of the ego and you are able to knock it down. But the ego is not meant to be died off completely because it's a part of us, right? It keeps us balanced. You cannot have the higher self without the lower self. And a lot of times people want to make spirituality and ascension about being perfect. You're not perfect. The only difference about ascension is that when you are being imperfect, you can recognize it, you can acknowledge it, and you can live in your truth and say, hey, what I did was fucked up. What I said was fucked up. I shouldn't have shared that story. I shouldn't have done A, B, and C. Or I was being ugly because you were ugly, right? And just whatever the case may be, spirituality is never about perfection. Being a gifted person, a person that is chosen, a chosen vessel is not somebody that is perfect. It is somebody that understands all the ways that they are imperfect and they own it. They recognize that sometimes those are the most beautiful parts of the self and they live in their truth no matter what that looks like. That is spirituality. It is truth. It is raw. It is authentic. It is forged through the fire, right? And when you've been forged through the fires of hell, you have no time to be faking and being performative because it's like, I've done too much work to get here. You're going to get all this, all of it, right? The good and the bad, and you recognize that. And so I just want to say that because a lot of times people will make it like we need to get rid of the ego completely. That is not possible. The ego is a part of us. We just recognize the treachery that the ego presents because it wants to be in control. The ego was in control for most of our lives. It protected us, especially as empathic people, we've all gone through trauma, drama, and chaos. So a lot of times we allowed the ego to forge the way for us because it shielded us from things that we didn't want to face and trauma that we were used to suppressing. And the divine masculine knows that better than anybody. That's why he operates out of his ego. It's not to hurt anybody. It's to protect himself because he has been hurt so many